So we're here with Salman. Big fights coming up tonight. Manny Pacquiao's taking on Matthysse. It's a great fight, you know, boxer v puncher. Manny Pacquiao's getting on in his career now. What do you make of this fight?
I personally think Manny Pacquiao will knock him out between rounds 1 and round 9. The reason I say that, I just think because of Manny Pacquiao's last performance, I think he has something to prove to the fans, to himself, that he is still one of the world's best welterweights, and that he will be contending with the likes of Amir Khan, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia. And I think if he does beat Matthysse, he'll put him right back up there. But I personally feel it's going to be a really tough fight because he's got good power in both hands. So he has a good chance of knocking Pacquiao out. Plus Pacquiao's old, so we don't know how much he has in his legs. As we've seen with David Haye, he struggled against Tony Bellew, someone that wouldn't even probably last 5 rounds with him when he was in his heyday. But we'll just have to see what Pacquiao has. But I personally think Pacquiao will find the bit between his teeth and he will get the stoppage.
So obviously we know that Matthysse is a big puncher. He's got a big power in both hands, right and left. And Pacquiao is getting on. He has had that devastating knockout he had with Marquez, who knocked him out cold. Do you think his age could play a factor tonight, and that could be it for Pacquiao if he used to take a loss against Matthysse?
I personally think if he does take a loss, that he will probably call it a day, because he doesn't really want to be. It depends how much punishment he takes as well. I just think he was on the wrong end of the decision against Jeff Horn. I don't think he lost the fight. I personally thought he won, but then again, I think it was in Australia, the fight, and he didn't get the decision through politics. But I think this fight will be Manny Pacquiao's probably not defining, but career deciding fight, because this will lead him to bigger and better things. For example, we know that Amir Khan versus Sammy Vargas is a WBA eliminator, so potentially those two could get it on if they both come through their fights, and that's a massive fight. That's probably one of the biggest fights in world boxing at the moment, as well as Wilder and Joshua. But
do you still think that Khan Pacquiao has that same appeal it once did? Because both of them,
I personally feel Khan and Pacquiao in the UK is massive.
Yeah, it's not that big in America.
I don't think it'll be that big in America, but it'll definitely sell out Wembley in the UK, no doubt. I have no doubt about that. It will definitely sell out Wembley in the UK.
Yeah, so it still holds a massive.
Because as we've seen in Amir Khan's last fight, which was in Liverpool, that was sold out in no time. So against Manny Pacquiao is known around the whole world. He's probably one of the best fighters to have ever come about, a division world champion. Not many people have done it like him. And plus those two styles really gel as well for an exciting fight, both fast and quick and look to really give it a go.
Yeah, they're both attacking.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas when Mayweather fought Pacquiao, was a really shutout because Mayweather made it a shutout. But I don't think this Pacquiao versus Khan, and I don't think Pacquiao possesses that same power where he could just knock Khan out with one punch, how Canelo did. So I think it's a really even contest.
Okay, so now another big fight that's coming up in 2 weeks is Dillain White v Joseph Parker. How do you see that one? It's a cracker.
I think it's a 50-50. Judging on Parker's last 2 performances, I don't think he's been at the best he should have been. Against Hughie Fury, I thought he lost the fight, and Joshua, he convincingly lost that fight, and judges gave it to Joshua. But I think that Dillain White, the way he knocked out Lucas Brown in the last fight, I think he's going to take the confidence from that fight and bring it into the Joseph Parker fight. At the moment, I just think that Dillain White has got the bit between his teeth, as well as Joseph Parker, but I can't really pick on that fight because I just don't know. It just depends how the fight pans out. But in terms of boxing ability, I would definitely have to say Joseph Parker has a lot more boxing ability than Dillain White. I don't think Dillain White can put his punches together really well. He's more of he's not really a fighter that can really, you know, put you away. And personally, Lucas Brown was there for the taking. Parker's not going to be there for the taking. As we've seen, Parker was the only man to take AJ 12 rounds. His slick movement, which I hadn't seen prior to the AJ fight, tells me that Dillain White's not going to be able to pin him down. And as like watching the preview of the gloves are off, Parker did mention that will you catch me though? So it just goes to show that he is confident that someone like Dillain White won't catch him.
So if you had to go for a prediction, who would you pick in that fight?
It's a really hard fight to predict, but just going on previous performances, I would say Dillain White, but then again I could be wrong because.
What? So you're going Dillain White stoppage or points?
Either stoppage or points. I'm not really too sure on that one. It just depends. I don't think stoppage because Parker's got a really good chin. Well, in the AJ fight, it was a really like defensive type of fight. So I don't know how good his chin really is when he's under a lot of pressure. But that fight was it was a jab fest. So I don't really know how good his chin is. But I think for Dillain White's not a bigger puncher than Joshua. So he's not going to get. I don't think he'll get stopped. So if you're going to lean towards something, you're going to have to lean towards points. But yeah, I just think Dillain White could potentially win on points or stoppage.
So you're going Dillain White, and for Pacquiao you're going 1 to 9 rounds.
Yeah, Pacquiao. I think Pacquiao will win.
Alright, thank you so much for talking to Imran Mir TV. Appreciate your time.